Hey you guys, it's Bunny. I know I'm late with this. I just wanted to pop on. I actually read enough last month that I felt like I could do a wrap-up video. So this is going to be my end of the month wrap-up video for the books that I read in the month of May. Last month I read BlueStocking Girl by Gwenn Wright. This is book 2 in the von Strassenberg saga. I actually just put the review for this up last night. The series is so hard to explain. It's a mystery. A girl inherits a bunch of money, and then people start trying to kill her. So the series is mostly about this girl trying to find out who her family was and how they had all this money, and now of course why people are trying to kill her over this money. So that's the series, like, in a loose nutshell. I really can't go any more into detail than that because I feel like it will spoil the book. This is book 2. Just like book 1, it's written in alternating points of view. So, like, each chapter is told by somebody else. What makes this book a little more confusing is it's covering several different time periods as well. Some of the chapters are back in the 1800s, some of them are like in 1990, and then some of them are like present day. So not only are you following around like separate characters, even though their stories all intertwine into one big thing, it's really confusing because you go from different time periods back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But then you also have to read a little while to kind of figure out who it is doing the talking for that chapter. That made it really hard for me to follow. Toward like the back half of the book, the author started like labeling the chapters. She actually put not just like the date or the town, but she would actually put, let me find one that's done that way. She actually put like who was doing the thinking. If the whole book had been done that way, like, I would have had no problems with it. Can you see that? See how it's labeled with the date, the place, and who's doing the talking? See how it's like that? If the whole book would have been done that way, this would be a great story. I say it's really good, and I think everybody, because there's nothing else really like it out there right now, story-wise, plot-wise. I think it's an excellent read, and I think a lot of people would really enjoy it. So, in my review, I said I definitely think you should pick it up. Just before you pick it up, know that it bounces point of view. It's a little bit confusing, and there are a few typos. But this book, typo-wise, book 1, I was in love with book 1 and was telling everybody to read it, and it had a lot of typos in it too. And this one is way better, editing-wise, better than book 1 was. But I definitely think it's worth a read, even with its, little flaws, even with the spelling errors and the way it's written. I don't even know. See, that's how you know it's a good book. I don't know how to explain to you. I think you should pick it up and read it. But like on my review, I said, just be warned up front. It's kind of confusing because it bounces around. And if you're somebody like me that doesn't really like books that have alternating points of view in them, you're going to have a hard time reading it. But if you're okay with that, I know some people prefer books that way, then you're going to love it. And if you like mysteries, you're going to love it. So I say pick it up. Even though I found it difficult to read, I still like the story. I'm waiting for the next book, So I'm going to continue reading it, even though I know I had a hard time getting through it, if that even makes sense whatsoever. But that's BlueStocking Girl by Gwenn Wright. I read Write Your Book Now by Perret. This is a self-help book. It's for newer authors and maybe people that have stalled in their writing projects, and it just kind of gives practical advice on how to get through your book, to get your book out of your head and on paper. Let me look at my list. I read something on my Kindle. Are you impressed? I'm impressed with me. I don't accept digital books for review, but I actually requested this one. It is Velveteen by Danny Marks, which the review for it is already up on my channel. It's fantastic. This is an ARC. The book doesn't come out until October, but you can pre-order it now. I just thought it was great. It's like urban fantasy, dark fantasy, romance, paranormal, mystery, action, and there's a serial killer in a little bit, and it's like, it's great. There's so much happening, and it's all compact. And I don't know if he's planning on making it a series. I don't think he is. This is a self-contained story. Like, you won't have to pick up another book after it. But it's such a good story. If the author wanted to make it into a series, I could totally see it as a full series. The characters are that good. Does that make sense? But yeah, you should pick that up. That's Velveteen. I want to say it comes out October 22nd, but I know you can already pre-order it. So that was that. And then I have to look at my list. I read Faded by Alyson Noel. I thought this was an okay read. I will probably pick up the next book in the series. I didn't think it was like amazing or anything like that, but I didn't have anything bad to say about it either. The review for this is already up on my site too, if you want to go read the review. And then I read The Secret Life of Copernicus H. Stringfellow. This is like, the main character is a 30-year-old like guy, ultra genius with these superhero powers. But I think, like, based on the writing style and stuff, I think it's more geared toward older middle grade readers, maybe younger like high school readers. It's about a superhero and how he tries to use his good powers to only do good for other people. And I thought it was good. I thought it was funny. I laughed a whole lot through it. It was pretty good. So I would say if you have probably advanced reading middle grade readers, or you just like superhero books, I think you should pick it up. And then I also read back to my Kindle. You're impressed with me, aren't you? From my library. Our library actually does the digital lending. I read Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I have not written the review for this yet, but I can tell you right now, I absolutely loved this book. When I started reading it, I was about 20 pages in. I was like, okay, so this is not going to be like a horror book, and it's not necessarily going to be like a paranormal fantasy book. What kind of book is this? Because the book is about these two magicians that, they don't know each other. When they're children, they end up, I'll say, cursed into having to be in this magician kind of Royal Rumble at the end. And last man standing is going to win the battle. And it all ends up taking place in this circus. I don't know how much I can tell you without giving the whole story away. I don't know what to say. I think the synopsis on Goodreads actually says that they end up falling in love. So I can tell you that. The two that are supposed to end up killing each other, that are cursed to, magical battle it out to the end, they end up falling for each other, which adds like a whole nother layer to, how's the battle going to play out? If they care about each other, are they going to be able to kill each other? So, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it to you. It's not really a romance. It's not really like a fantasy, but it's got magic in it. I don't know even how to classify it. But I think you should read it. If you've not read it yet, like, this is probably going to be in one of my top reads of, what year is this? 2012. So, go pick that up if you haven't read it yet. And, like, it's expensive. Like, even the ebook of it on Amazon is high. So, I got it through the digital lending of my local library. But I liked it so much, I'm actually going to order a paperback just so I can have it, here. Because I liked it. I would like to be able to flip back through it and read it again, actually. So that says a lot. If you finish a book and you immediately want to start reading it again, that's a good story. But that's The Night Circus. And that's everything I read during the month of May. I had a good month last month. We didn't have internet for 4 days, or cable, or phone, because we got a new company coming to town and they're messing everything up. But so this month, I've already read 5 books this month. So the wrap-up for this month is going to be a big month, I think. Unless I read that Druid book, and it's huge. But anyway, so that was my wrap-up for May. I keep getting distracted. I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. I'll see you tomorrow on Bookish Days. Thanks for watching. See ya.